Good evening, everyone. My name is Beatrice, and welcome to another episode of Voices of ASEAN. Today, as part of a partnership with the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I am pleased to welcome Dato Dr Mohmed Razip, Director General of the Islamic Tourism Centre of Malaysia. For over 30 years, Dato Razip has been a part of the tourism industry. He has travelled to Asia, Europe, the Americas, and the Middle East to promote Malaysia's diverse traditions, cultures, and historical sites. He has worked his way to the top of Malaysia's Tourism Promotion Board, from being the Assistant Director at Tourism Malaysia's branch in Vancouver to becoming the Deputy Director General for Tourism Malaysia, and today he is the Director General of the Islamic Tourism Centre of Malaysia. Dr. Mohmed Razip is scheduled to speak on the topic, the Islamic Consumer, a Post-Pandemic Comeback, at the Global Business Forum ASEAN 2021, held on the 8th and 9th December. And today, we invite him to share his insights on the Islamic tourism industry in Malaysia and the ASEAN region. So joining me live from Putrajaya, here is Dato Mohmed Razip. Hello, Dato.
Hello.
How are you?
It's fine, thank you. Alhamdulillah.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you on our forum.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, Dato. You'll be speaking on the topic of the Islamic consumer, a post-pandemic comeback, which will explore how UAE and ASEAN can make a halal-driven comeback, having taken a downward turn during the pandemic. Could you share with our viewers a brief highlight of your presentation and what you hope people will take away from it?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And firstly, thank you, Dato Beatrice, for this opportunity to speak on Voices of ASEAN. And actually, I'm honored to be given a platform on Global Business Forum ASEAN in Dubai, and to share my thoughts about the Muslim tourist market in post-pandemic world. And among the topics that I would like to touch during the period of presentation, to share and also to address the growing and expanding Muslim consumer market, and also the changing trends in travel and hospitality industry due to the pandemic. What happened before and what will be the next game during the industry, and some of the concerns that the market has in order to propel the industry to grow and also to be back, if not as what been before, at least have some area of improvement. So some is very interesting areas that I personally would like to touch and to share with the audience, inshallah.
Yeah. So the global halal market is estimated to be worth over $4 trillion. And this includes food and beverages, entertainment, fashion, cosmetics, and more. Both Malaysia and UAE are leaders in the sphere. And then you have other ASEAN countries such as Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore aiming to tap into this growing lucrative market. What do you think ASEAN and the UAE can do together to promote and invigorate the halal industry? And what sectors do you see, Dato, as having the most potential for growth?
I think it's very brilliant and very challenging question, actually. No, ASEAN and UAE actually, as what we can understand, they are partners in many fields, including tourism and travel. For a start, what we can do now is to think about the Muslim tourist itself. It is very niche, it's very lucrative market that's capable of ramping up the revenue across all sectors of the halal economy. So when they travel, from day one until the last day of the travel, they will look after their needs. Actually, Muslim travelers, they are no different from conventional travelers. They need to eat, they need to drink, they need to have, they need to enjoy, they need to engage, they need to shop. So what made the difference is, of course, when they want to eat and to drink, they look for halal. Halal food, for halal drink. Even in UAE, if I'm not mistaken, for the last couple of years, they even come up with this dates cocktail.
Okay.
Because they cannot enjoy what you call that, of course, wine. They cannot enjoy this, but they want to drink in style. So they come up with some sort of halal drink.
Okay.
Okay. So, but this is to be discovered, when we are in Dubai. So again, to relate to the halal market, now even there is a demand for halal cosmetic, for fashion, halal fashion, for Islamic fashion. Of course, they have to comply to the Islamic values. So you can see that the trend happened both in ASEAN and also UAE. In ASEAN alone, we have 255 million of Muslims, not in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in other parts of ASEAN. And similarly, you can have a big size of predominantly in the GCC countries, especially in Dubai. You can see the number of Muslim population are higher. So both sectors actually complementary to the needs of both Muslim, whether they are in ASEAN or whether they are in UAE. So the synergy that we can see here is how GCC country can offer good product and services, and also what ASEAN countries can offer to UAE people, or even for UAE tourists when they come to ASEAN. So this is a new area that Global Halal are looking at, even not only for ASEAN and for GCC countries, but for many parts of the world. They are looking for halal travel, they are looking for halal spa, they are looking for halal health and medical. So you can see that the potential of halal when they relate to tourism is actually very huge and big. So this is back to your question, is probably more than $4 trillion at the point.
Yeah, and that's globally, right?
Globally.
Globally.
Yes.
But do you think what would be the value like in ASEAN or in UAE or both these regions combined?
I think we can look into. I don't have the right figure, but what I hope is a good guess. Is in the region of 1.2, 1.5 trillion alone.
It's quite a considerable bulk of the global market.
Yeah. And talking about halal market, many countries, even this is not Muslim countries, but non-Muslim countries. You go to Japan, you go to Korea, and Taiwan nowadays. They are also promoting countries to lure the arrival of Muslim tourists.
Yeah.
So you can see a lot of halal food, a lot of halal green. Even in certain countries, they are promoting a single trip to cater for the market. So you can see the supply chain of halal is getting more and more, and become very lucrative in a sense.
Yeah. So ITC recently organized the World Islamic Tourism Conference to explore the challenges and opportunities of developing Islamic tourism in a post-pandemic era. So what were the general sentiments among industry players that you can share with us today, Dato?
Yeah, the recent World Islamic Tourism Conference was actually for the second time. We had the first one in 2017. So after 2 or 3 or 4 years, then we had another one. And very interestingly, that among the sentiments, the one ITC to look into, one is the definition itself.
Okay.
Islamic tourism, and now we have Muslim-friendly tourism. Some countries, they use halal tourism. Some countries are using Sharia tourism. So in order for us to be to position Islamic tourism, we have to have a common ground in terms of understanding, in terms of definition, so that the stake players or the stakeholders can easily respond to the needs of the industry. That's one. And then the second one, we also discussed about the readiness of destination, whether they are in ASEAN, also whether they are in GCC or other parts of the world. After COVID, now we have to live with COVID. That's what some people say. The readiness of this destination to receive Muslim tourists to their destination. So as I mentioned just now, that they are no different from conventional, as long the additional requirements of Muslim travelers are within the context of Islamic values and principles. But and at the same time, as I mentioned just now, that Muslim travelers, they are also travel in style. They have more purchasing power. They are more dynamic now. Even they are solo travelers. They don't mind to travel alone. And how, in terms of readiness of destination, can they accept this new way of traveling among the Muslim? They are also technology savvy. They go in style when they put everything wired here and there. And then they are also catching up with the information. So they are also just like other travelers. They need to be informed what the best, and whether they have the quality product and services in place, whether the hotel are ready to fulfill their demands and needs. So this is some of the deliberation we had during the Islamic conference. And another thing, what we discovered that, as mentioned just now, that many other destinations are also going for this market. Because they see like another China. You know, at one time we thought that we want to have more Chinese travelers come to many parts of the world. So they want to have more ASEAN travelers. So we can put in perspective that the Muslim market will be just like another demand, what they had for Chinese market, and also from Indian market, and also from the Middle East market. So this is some of the findings and some of the output that we received. And inshallah, we will share in different forum, some of the very good findings and very insightful, actually.
What would you say would be the percentage of Islamic tourism as opposed to the whole universe of tourism to Malaysia?
So for Malaysia alone, in 2019, we received 5.3 million Muslim tourists, mostly from ASEAN and also from Middle East. And surprisingly, also we receive Muslim. They are professional, they are lawyers, they are accountants. They are from the UK, from Europe, from the US. So they're coming to Malaysia, and we registered for an income of 16.3 billion. So it's a big in terms of economic value.
And what are your strategies, Dato, for bringing for enhancing Islamic tourism into Malaysia per se?
First we have to put Islamic tourism as another sector. Now, right now, what is happening is we lump everything. They're just like another sector. So what we need to do now is we have to be focused. We have to segmentize the market. Then only we can come up with the strategies and solution to bring more of them to Malaysia. And then we have to come up with nowadays people talking about blueprint, talking about strategic direction. So we also need that. We don't have that right now. So it's timely for Malaysia to have a blueprint so that we can guide the industry, we can guide the business people, we can guide the investors. Come here in Malaysia, invest, because we need more hotels that we will fulfill the needs of these Muslim travelers. Just to give you an example, Doctor, We have Muslim travelers come all the way from the Balkan, and they stay in all these top-notch hotels, especially in Langkawi. You can have all the brands there.
Yeah.
They spend in US dollars. They come with family, and they spend at least more than a week. So just imagine, the economy return from there. It's very promising, actually.
Yeah. We have a question from the audience, from those watching us. They're asking, how has ITC assisted industry players through COVID and for the reopening of tourism?
Okay. First, I have to qualify what is ITC.
Okay.
So ITC somehow, we're not involved 100% in promotion and marketing, but we do believe that during the COVID pandemic, you can see a lot of new discoveries. People want to have new skills, they want to reskill themselves, they want new knowledge, they want to know what exactly out there for them, and then they want that. So this is where ITC comes in. During the season, I would say we have many online sessions. We share with them the findings of the research, and then we share with them how to live up to the expectation of the market after pandemic. And then we also develop capacity building, and even we understand that some of them they cannot really make up to the fee of training. So we give them complimentary training through online, and then we invited many top speakers from the industry to share with the stakeholders, and also those from the industry themselves. And the recent one we had with the tourist guide. During COVID, no tourists, so they just stay at home, no income. So what we did, we organized a seminar, we organized a workshop, and what we put in exactly talking about how to handle emergency, how to handle tourists when they are in the need to go for hospital. First aid. We never think about this before, because there was no such demand. But during the pandemic, we realized that, and they really appreciate it. They really appreciate it.
So
this is some of the examples.
So I think people mistake this as just about promotion, but you're not. You got a lot more to do than promotion is just one part of it, right?
Yes.
So what are your hopes and aspirations for Islamic tourism, Dato? In Malaysia, in the region,
in Malaysia, for our local players, we really need their new thinking towards Islamic consumer, because the potential of the market is very huge. It's not only promising, but you can see the real money there. Actually, the gold mine is there. So what we need from them is, let's look into this market, just like what they look to, the MICE market, the convention market, the ecotourism, talking about the golf tourism. So this is actually one segment of the market that involves almost everything. They are Muslim golfers, they are Muslim shoppers, they are Muslim, adventurers. So all come within the context of Islamic tourism. But not to discount about the potential of the Islamic tour operators. They can come up with new tour packages to the new demands and the needs of the consumer, so that they will have an additional market opportunities, new additional business opportunities on top what they are having now. Because they are more geared towards conventional tourism, and the market is ready. Or they just don't want to have tourists from, for instance, from Brunei, from UAE, from Saudi Arabia, from the GCC. And as mentioned, they will stay in 3 and above star-rated hotel. And they fly business class. And they shop, and they have all the purchasing power. So what we want to know them, look into position their minds and focus because the demand is there. And for the rest of the world, most of the ASEAN countries actually ready to receive. Indonesia, Malaysia, even Thailand, Philippines. And they have that capacity, and they have the capability, and they have the knowledge to cater for this market. So that's my aspiration and my anticipation from the market, Dato.
So if you had a magic wand, Dato, and then you could make 3 wishes come true for Islamic Tourism Centre, what would you wish for?
It is here, and it is there, but the time is now. That is...
I don't understand. It is here?
It is here to stay.
Okay.
And it is there for them to think, and we are ready now.
That's your first wish?
Yeah.
Second wish?
Second wish, don't delay.
Okay.
Because everything has been, they have reset everything.
Yeah.
And then we are in the equal playing field.
Yep.
And who are ready and who are fast, they will get the return.
Do you have a third wish? With your magic wand, it'll definitely happen.
Come join us in Dubai.
Okay, all right. You got 3 wishes done. Thank you, Dato. I have one more question from the audience. In catering to this market, what do tourism industry players need to know?
Again, Dato?
In catering to this market, I think this market means Malaysian market good. So in catering to this market, what do tourism industry players need to know?
So one, they have to rethink. They have to rethink, they have to reposition what they are doing now, because they just cannot look at what has been in place, but they have to look into what will be in place, because the demand and also the supply of this market is getting more sophisticated because of the players themselves, because of the tourists themselves. So they must get towards that. Just like before, when no one liked to engage with digital, but we have no choice.
Yeah.
Similarly, this applies to the Islamic tourism market.
Wow, you're very hot, and there's so many questions coming for this. You got another question. How do you see the Islamic tourism evolving in 5 to 10 or 20 years? I think that's 3 questions in one. How do you see the Islamic tourism evolving in 5 years, in 10 years, or 20 years?
Okay. Destination is moving forward. They are looking for new opportunities. And also, halal industry is going very rapidly. So Islamic tourism actually parallel. We work together. They increase, we increase. Even Islamic tourism give them the consumer size of opportunity, because as I mentioned, the market is growing with a population of 1.8 billion around the world now, and it is forecasted for the next 10 years, the number will increase. So that is the opportunity in 3 and 4 and 5 years time, even 10 years time.
In 20
years? And you're looking at the airline, Dato.
Sorry?
Looking at the airlines.
Yes.
You get the airline itself. Yes, we are our own Malaysia airline, but you can see Emirates, you can see Qatar, you can see Saudi, you can Turkish airline. They are actually hub of the Muslim travelers market.
Right,
To
right,
explain everything better.
right, yes. So thank you, Dato. That was a great
Most
interview.
welcome.
Is there
Thank you.
anything else, any advice you have for our audience, for the players, before we end this?
Okay, my advice is we are here to stay, and we are here also to work together as partner. So let's collaborate. We know that we don't have everything, and you also don't have everything, but let's get something to be done, and then we will get everything we want, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, Dato.
You're most welcome, Dato.
See you in
Thank
Dubai.
you.
See you in
See
Dubai
you in
next
Dubai.
week. Yes.
Okay, okay. You take care.
Take care. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and on our website, www.voiceofasean.com, to keep up to date with our upcoming shows. Voice of ASEAN thanks you for your time, and we'll be uploading a recorded version of this wonderful interview with Dato Razip and in our portal for those who missed it. We'll see you in the next round.